We're going to ask that Neil, New Sullivan, and O'Keefe, please come up here on the left-hand side. Do we have a speaker from Neil? No Neil? New Sullivan? Okay.
Yeah.
You have it too?
Yeah, we have it too. Okay, I don't have a written testimony. Good evening, everyone. My name's Charles Bassett. I'm Vice President at LSC at New Sullivan School. First of all, we don't consider our students. They are scholars. And as a parent, as an LSC rep, if you close down our schools, Miss Bird, then you're saying, you know what? We ain't got time for you. We don't care about you. We give up. No's not in our children's vocabulary. Can't is not in their vocabulary. You know what? You take a look at from the administration, from our wonderful principal, to the teachers, to the lunchroom staff, to the janitors. It don't matter. Our students know if they need help, they can come to a parent, they can come to any one of them, and they will take the time to help our students. So leave our school alone. And you know what? And that goes for every other school out here. If you can leave the high schools alone, you sure can leave the elementary schools alone.
Hey, okay, you? He has pictures for me. Are you gonna do it? Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yvonne McNutt, and I am a teacher. I am the 8th grade teacher from New Sullivan. In case you didn't know, we are Spartans. And I don't know if you know what a Spartan does, but we don't give up. So let me tell you something in case you don't know where we're located. We're located 8331 South Mackinac. We are as far east as you can go before you get to what used to be the steel mill. But as you know, they are regentrifying our community. So we have a very transient situation. So when you talk about underutilization, let's ask, why? Where are our babies being moved to? Let me tell you something. Out of our 8th grade class, all but 10 of our students qualify for select enrollment tests. There's something good going on in New Sullivan. GP Corporation adopted us. We have 2 new playgrounds for our babies. I don't know if you understand. I live a hop, skip, and a jump from my school. I take great pride in what we do in New Sullivan. We have a Music Works program. Our children have created CDs and music you can download to your iPods and your CDs. Maybe you don't understand, but maybe Tupac told you like this: there are roses that are growing from concrete. Look at the roses and what we represent. So I tell you now, CPS, if you are truly in the corner of our babies, if you are not trying to make us low-wage earners for the rest of our lives, you will look at what you're doing, how you're doing it, and stop making those numbers say what you want those numbers to say. Because excuse me, my undergrad degree is in accounting, and I know what you can do with numbers. So I challenge you. Every time there's a meeting, I don't care whether it's our network or another network, we need to turn out in numbers. New Sullivan, we tell our children, and this is one thing we always say: fear knocked at the door, but faith opened, and there was no one there. We are not afraid. We know what we are about, and we tell our children every day, you are the best of the best in the great Midwest. We are not giving up on you.
have your attention really briefly. Let me have your attention. So we did promise that we would make sure that we capture some of the voice of more detailed, granular information about your schools, some of the ways that you're using the space creatively, and the breakout sessions are designed for that. Now, we will hear everyone in this room, but for those who have already spoken, we do want to extend the invitation to go to the breakout session with the facilitators if you would like to. That is your choice to make. You may stay in the main auditorium, and for those who are still have signed up to speak, we will continue with that process. But for schools who have already spoken, if you would like to go to the breakout session and share more detail about the ways that you are using the space within your building, please at this time transition to the breakout rooms. And for those who still need to speak, remain in the room and we will continue the process of hearing your voice.
Okay, for those who would like to, can I have someone in the doorway here? We're going to have to ask people to go out of this doorway. So folks should be thank you. For those, you will be escorted by the young lady right here, and we appreciate your participation. Okay, Mr. Martin, we can proceed.
Just get them lined up. Just get the next schools lined up.
As they're making their way, as they're making their way down to the breakout session, I'm going to start calling up the next ones. We have O'Keefe lined up. We're looking for Park Manor and Parkside, so please come and line up opposite side. We're going to have O'Keefe. We have O'Keefe on deck. We're looking for Park Manor and Parkside. If you'll line up to my right, please. To your right, excuse me. You on here, what is it? You going to the breakout? We're going to give them a moment to clear you all. Thank you. I'm going to ask, I got him. I'm going to ask that O'Keefe, please line up. Park Manor, are you represented tonight? Parkside. Perry and Powell, please start making your way up. Perry and Powell, start making your way up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natasha Dunn, and I am a community representative for Isabella O'Keefe Elementary School. However, I am a graduate of Parkside Community Academy, and I'm also a South Shore resident, and I also represent Powell, Bryn Mawr, and all the other schools that are in my area. I'm here today representing children. Enough is enough. Let's stop begging them to keep our schools open and show them who has the power. We gotta stop this dog and pony show, because at the end of it all, Rahm Emanuel and the board are gonna say who they're gonna close anyway. So what do? We have options. We must be organized. We as parents and teachers must stand together and say enough is enough. The schools that are closing are disproportionately African American and Latino schools. This is discrimination. Parents need to file a lawsuit. Parents need to take their kids out and boycott. Let's stop playing games with these people and show them who boss. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first time. I didn't hear the first time. Let me just make sure I heard right. Do we have Powell in the house tonight? All right, good evening, everybody. Powell family, are you here? All right, my name is O.C. Banks. I'm a parent, former LSC chairperson. I'm a community representative now, Cook County Sheriff. Mayor Daley, 2 years ago, gave us $35 million to build the only grammar school on the lakefront of Chicago, Illinois. Now they're saying we're underutilized. Here's the utilization report that you approved. The utilization report that you have approved. Now you tell us in a matter of months that we've gone from a level 1 school to a level 2 school. Can somebody here tell me why? All right. Powell Academy is a beacon in the South Shore community. $35 million. I sat there with Mayor Daley, Jose Alvarez, and they told me my school will be here. Now, what is going on? Why are we here? We are a safe school. We do not have the gang problems that the other schools have. We do not have cars outside our school. Also, how are we on this list? Every year since 2007, when we brought Dr. Jordan in, raise your hand, we have gone up. We are competing with your selective enrollment schools, and we are a community school. 30% mobility rate throughout the year. We have to take everybody that comes. We can't say, no, you can't. We can't do the black. We can't do your north side prep. We can't do that. We don't even have the equipment. You gave me a new building, not a new school. You wanted me to have VCRs. How do you do that? You know, I want to know how we went from level 1 to level 2 at the beginning of the 2012-13 year. Now we're level 2. I don't understand that. I also want to know is, who moved us to level 2? Who moved us to level 2? And what's the reason behind it? I thought coming here we would get answers, but I see we're not. I'm very upset that Barbara Bird Bennett is not here to explain to us why. I mean, if she is over all of this, she should be here for every meeting. We demand that. And what is the criteria for dropping us from level 1 to level 2? Can somebody here tell me? Because I've been asking, can somebody tell me? Nobody can tell me, okay. Why is a school that every year we've had significant gains, but yet we're on the underutilization list? Out of all the schools here, I think our school is the less in what it takes, $300,000 a year to keep it up. I've seen millions on that list. Somebody tell me anything. Go ahead, come on.
I'm Norman Thompson, parent community volunteer for Adam Clayton Powell also. We're speaking to the wrong people. We actually should be pointed this way, speaking to these people. So here's what I want to say. Have they taken into consideration the mobility rate? Powell's not in the past several years been a turnaround school, but has been turned around. With the help of the program of the staff, principal, and for over 6 years. We haven't needed the turnaround program of CPS. They did it themselves. And what are the future plans for the multi-million-dollar school? Will it be used for the benefit of the city, or will it be used for the children? What's more important? Give us selective enrollment, like you do the North Side schools. And we mentioned the school was built 2 years ago, approved by Daley, who's not here to speak for us now. If he was here to vouch for us, we have Daley here. We would have the alderman here. We would have the congressman here. We would have all these people here to speak for us. So we want to know if that's coincidental that now you want a lakefront school that's been at 89% percentile for the last 3, 4, 5 years. So don't close Powell. We don't want to have to go back to doing sit-ins like we did in the 60s. So Powell is a model school. You go to any high school with any reputation, reputable reputation, I guarantee you'll find a Powell alumni.
And I just want to add to him that we had many questions, just like you have. How on earth did Powell become 66% underutilized? I work there. Many of my colleagues work there. We know our rooms are filled. Every room is occupied. We have so many questions about the numbers. We listen to data about data every day. We know CPS is driven by data, but we deal with human beings, right? We deal with children who have serious issues every day, but we still have to work and teach them. We're not a magnet school. We haven't been. We've been going up steadily every year, and suddenly the numbers didn't crunch, so now we're down to level 2 from level 1. We have questions about that. Not only that, not because we plummeted, our scores went down, but because we didn't go up enough. The same criteria cannot be used for each and every school. Every school is different. Our children are different. The cultures are different in each and every school. Now, I'm a parent as well. This is another question I like to have answered. I received a letter in the mail about this new program that they have, Common Core. I know you all heard of that, right? What's happening with that, the board sent us a letter, parents, about how our scores, students or our children's scores may go down, right? Don't fret, we're just hiring the bar. However, they were a little flexible, and I was like, wow, they're being really flexible. But we're told that if we don't move up enough, we're on the next level down. And then if you don't move up enough, you're going down even more. We know we work hard every day. We have no technology up to the state of art, anything like Walter Payton, anything like we said, it's a new building. This is unheard of, but still we achieve. Our students are some of the lowest income students. However, we still achieve, okay? So I don't know how they came up with that number. Like you said, data can be manipulated and used the way you want it to be used. We know that. We're intelligent enough to understand that. So these are human beings we're dealing with. Don't close our school. It is ridiculous. It is unfair, period. And our resources have been starved out of our community and our schools. And we know from just going from the north to the south, from the west and further northwest. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Can I have Revere and Ruggles please come to the stage? Revere and Ruggles.
Can the Revere community please come forward? Yeah, come on, Miss Sir,
if you can just get started, though, because we want to make sure we cover everybody.
Okay.
As they come up.
Who was it that said in our community, nobody cared? Who was it stated that our parents are never around? Well, we see from this evening that that's certainly not true. I stand before you today. I am Paul Revere's history. As an alumni and a lifetime community resident, I can speak to community development and education of our students. I am Paul Revere's president as the coordinator of mentoring and entrepreneurship programs and member of the school improvement plan and the school day committees. I am Paul Revere's future along with them as I represent parents, students, community, and staff to keep Paul Revere's doors open so that we can continue the work that's been begun to support student achievement and increase parent engagement. Paul Revere has a lot of strengths, to name a few. We have built sustainable partnerships already in the community, as well as not-for-profit organizations that work directly with the school and community development projects and initiatives for safety, beautification, and education. Partnerships collaborate with the administration on school improvement planning, and as a result have access to data and participate in strategic planning to improve student outcomes. My organizations, Black Men Sharing and Caring and the Ring of Hope, provide mentoring programs, as well as Global Girls, as well as Man-Child. Organizations that Ms. Thompson has reached out to grab a hold, to work with students who are have been retained in third grade and found themselves in need of organizations to help them. We, in fact, raised the help to achieve daily grades that soared past their status at that time. In these particular third graders, raising their grades to 93% versus 85% for the females. In addition, the administration seeks to support mentoring partners to track males so that we, as last year, had 3 males in the top 10. Above average student growth is a composite of over 60%. 76% of our class of 2013 is eligible for selective enrollment. 80% of the 2013 class is eligible for military options. But we also have challenges, but more so, we want to talk about space utilization. Now, we out of time, or you going? We've had guys go much farther. Can I just get this part in? Just utilization, because we're about utilization, correct? All right. So, our proposed solution to the situation as far as utilization, raising it from 47 to 75%. We offer space for partners for continued support in the implementation of full school day programming in the arts, fitness, and entrepreneurs. Parents requested a school-based parent university in the NCLB compact to offer self-improvement courses. We want school partners with local child care agencies to provide space for full-day programming options, offer space as satellite for city colleges, as many of our parents show interest in continuing their education, restore site-based social service programming. We are a community school, open from 8:45 in the morning to 6:45 p.m. As a community school, we look to service the whole community. And therefore, we need to be continued as Paul Revere stays open.
Once your school is done speaking, if you want to go down to the breakout sections, you can leave out this exit. If you want to go, they're open.
Okay. I don't think they... Are you going to fit? Okay, come on. Sorry.
Excuse me. The bottom line at Paul Revere, we're saving lives. We're giving our children the opportunity of a life chance. You cannot educate or empower kids that are mentally or physically dead. At Paul Revere, they feel safe each and every day that they come in. The gentleman gets to piggyback off what my brother said. They get there not at 8:45, but 8 o'clock before school starts. These kids are inspired, motivated to get an education. They want more because they understand if they get less, they'll become less. All we're asking is that you give them the proper opportunity and chance to continue getting the best education possible. Nothing less for our children will be acceptable. Bottom line.
Good evening, Chief McDade and members of the Chicago Board of Education. My name is LaMichael Wilson. I am the chairman of the Parent Advisory Council at Martha Ruggles Elementary School. I also have 3 sons currently enrolled at Ruggles Elementary. And in response to the recent Chicago Public Schools utilization report suggesting that approximately 37% of our facility is underutilized, I stand before you this evening to draw the curtains back and briefly provide some insights on the utilization of our rooms on the Ruggles Elementary campus. Yes, on paper the school may appear to be underutilized. The realization, however, is that every classroom is employed to strengthen student academic performance and progress. Rooms that do not serve as homerooms are directly used to support instruction and are functionally multi-purpose in use. These rooms are used daily for after-school tutoring programs, inclusive of the after-school All-Stars. We have 17 students enrolled in that, 51 students in the supplemental education services, 13 in You Want to Be a Chemist Science program, 24 in the Military Cadet Corps, and we have students in the DePaul University after-school tutoring program, which reinforces our efforts on college readiness. Our student population is primarily underprivileged, and these we provide 3 meals daily that these kids would not normally may not get at home, but they can get it at Ruggles. We also use our classrooms for indoor recess, science laboratories for intermediate grades, hearing, vision, and dental screenings, a much-needed second computer lab, intervention for primary and intermediate grades. But there's much, much more to Ruggles than academics and what our classrooms are used for. For Ruggles also picks up the slack to provide social resources that are scarce in the Chatham community. We have career programs, career assistance that we provide to our parents and to the community people. Just in fact, this evening, Ruggles reaches out for our stakeholders. When people have concerns and they don't know where to go, they can come to Ruggles and get that assistance. Our assistant principal and a staff member stayed at the school until 6:15 until a parent was able to come and pick a kid up because of the situations that the parent was in. It goes beyond just utilization of rooms. And may I also say that if you're going to consider closing 7831 South Prairie, let's look at the data statistics of utilization for 125 South Clark.
Okay. Can I please have representatives from South Shore Fine Arts come up? South Shore Fine Arts, come up.
Hello, I'm Shaquita. I'm a former student at Ruggles Elementary, and I just want to say that I'm here today because of Ruggles, okay? I'm here today because this school pushed me. Because this school pushed me, and they pushed me, and they pushed me. Ms. Patterson, they stayed on me, and now look where I am. I got a $32,000 scholarship at an art school. I'm doing well because of this school, and if you guys take this away from these children, what will they have? African Americans and Latinos, we've already had enough taken away from us. Don't let education be one of them. Just don't let it be one of them. Ruggles has changed since I've been there, okay? It's different, okay? They got programs now that wasn't even around when I was here. Art, they on a new level, okay? Dance, Jeffery Ballet, scholarships, they on a new level. They're rising, okay? They're rising. We're rockets, we're rising. And, okay, so if you close the school, you're closing, you're cutting, you're killing, and you're crushing dreams. You're crushing dreams. And please, don't take this opportunity away from them. The opportunity that I've been given. Just don't do it.
For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. I have plans for you to prosper. We speak life into these schools. We speak life into Ruggles. What you see here is a threefold connection.
intersection. You see the school, you see the community, and you see the church. Understand that we have to speak life. Your paperwork, your facts, your fiction, and your figures can say whatever they need to say. But the Lord has a plan that he has declared for all these schools, and especially Ruggles Elementary. Thank you.
Okay, can we please have... Okay, let me get South Shore Fine Arts and Tanner. South Shore Fine Arts and Tanner. Is anyone here from South Shore Fine Arts or Tanner School? Okay, can I get Thorpe? Anyone here from Thorpe or Warren? Thorpe or Warren? I'll call South Shore again. South Shore Fine Arts, is anyone here? Wave your hand if you're here. Okay, is anyone here from Tanner? Tanner? Are you? Thank you. Thorpe? Okay, Tanner? Are you from Tanner? Are we going to have two speakers per school? Come on. Only two speakers per school. So, all right. Please.
Can I, because it's a little uncomfortable. You want me to step down? There you go.
Okay.
First, I would like to say good afternoon to good evening, good afternoon to everyone that's here. And even though I am the vice president of the LSC for Tanner School, I don't just stand here for Tanner School. I stand here for every school whose name was on the closing list. Because it's not about them just not closing Tanner. It's about them not closing all of the schools that are on the list. Now I have a speech here, and I wanted to come up and say, you know what? We're on the move. Our school is doing this, and our school is doing that. I want you all to hear this. I remember a few years ago, I was watching the television, and I watched these parents dedicated. They came out and they marched around their school. And they said, please don't close our school. Give us one more opportunity. All we need is a chance to show you that we're moving up. And some of those same people that they begged not to close their schools back then are threatening to close our schools right now. I watch these schools, no matter what we said to them, no matter how much we begged them. See, this is what the understanding I want everybody to know now. Their minds are already made up. Their minds are made up. So it does not matter what we come up here. I could say that we have enrichment program. I could say to them we have a computer program. I can talk about the basketball that our school have. I can talk about all of the added programs that we have so that our children will take and they will be able to compete. That if you just leave my school open. But how many schools did I see come up here and say, don't close me because I've progressed here and I've progressed there? The last time I stood before the board, I stood before the president, and he said, my heart went out to him because he said, someone came up and they spoke and they said these words. They said, they began to talk about him. And he said this, he said, my child was not able to go to school because you went on strike. And my heart went out for his child because he said that his child just wasn't able to go to school because of the strike. What school are our children going to go to if they close us down? What school are our children going to go to? Let me just say this. I know my time is up, but I got to say this. Mrs. McDade, someone who I admire, young black educator, I admire her. She came to my school, our school, not long ago. And she said that the school was functioning well and that it was moving in a positive track. I also have our president saying
And you know what? I'm going to give your school a playground. I'm going to fence it in for the safety of your children. And then a month later, you're going to close us down?
Good evening. My name is Yasmin Muhammad. I'm a teacher at Town Elementary. Our LSC chair, she's a tough act to follow, so I'll be brief. I would just like to say that I'm a teacher, community resident, and sometimes feel like a mother of almost 450 students. I have 7 children of my own. I work nights, days, weekends, and holidays to help support and commit to my children at Town Elementary. That's why I just feel it's so disheartening that the data is dictating the future of our students. I would like to say that if you want to hear numbers, I can give you numbers. We have a population of almost 450. 25% of those are a SPED population. I teach special education. And one of those students being a son of mine who has autism. I can say since he's been at Tanner, he has blossomed and he has grown beyond my wildest dreams. I would like to know, and my question is, if they close our doors, where will my son go? How will he adapt, and will he belong wherever CPS wants him to be? Thank you.
Okay, can I have the 2 representatives of Thorpe come up, and Warren School? If there's anyone here for Warren, please come up to your right.
Good evening. I won't share my name, but I am a parent representative of J.N. Thorpe Elementary School, and this is my daughter. She is an 8th grade student who is a very good student and has progressed at J.N. Thorpe Elementary School. From the teachers who push her every day, who this child that doctor said would never walk, never talk, never look, never do anything, but look at her now. She has applied, and so has other 8th graders at our school for selective enrollment schools. And I am a diligent parent at J.N. Thorpe. Parent patrol, whatever they need, I am there. I love the kids in the community. They bring their report cards. They want to make sure that they stay on track. So I help my community and my parents, my teacher and my staff members at my school at J.N. Thorpe make sure that that is possible. Me and my daughter want to sing a song that we wrote over the summer with some of the children in our impoverished community that CPS constantly defunds on a regular basis. Let's go. Go. 1, 2, 3. We strive every day to becoming successful. We are on our way. We strive every day. At J.N. Thorpe, we are on our way. We strive every day to get an education. We come every day ready to learn, respecting ourselves and each other. We strive every day, and that's it, that's all. Do what's right for our children in our community, for all our schools around Chicago Public Schools.
Please. What? Watch yourself.
Good evening. I am an educational support staff from J.N. Thorpe School. This is my child that attended J.N. Thorpe School. I also attended J.N. Thorpe School, and I was raised in that community. All we see in that community is buildings being knocked down. In this little piece of paper that you have here, it says that we're underutilized. How are we underutilized when we have 35 to 38 students in each classroom? We are a co-share school. I choose for my child to go to that school because of the wonderful teachers that we have there. I could have chosen for him to go to another school, but I choose for him to go there. Another thing is that in that list, you have all the schools around us. Niños Heroes, New Sullivan, Thorpe, Morales, everywhere. All you hear on the news is saying, CPS, another CPS student gone. But if you're removing all these schools, you're closing all these schools, where are you forcing our children to go to? Okay? You're going to have them go to further away, and again, all you're going to hear is another CPS student gone. We need to keep our schools open. These kids feel safe in our schools. We are a community, a low-income community. Our children come there and eat, and they feel safe. They bring their problems to our school. We have a computer lab. We have art. Our art teachers here, a wonderful art teacher, Ms. Wyatt. Our math coaches. We give so many resources to these students. We have people coming from outside. Last year, our students went to the Merit School of Music, was there. They participated in the orchestra. Selective enrollment. Most of our students go to take the test. How are we a level 3 school when our selective enrollment is high? Now, again, we are a co-share school. There's no way that we're underutilized where we have to share space with the charter school. And then at first they told us that they weren't taking our students, but it's happening. So I don't understand it. Our school, thank you.
No, we already had two. Sorry. Okay, can I please have representatives from Warren, Washington, or Westcott? Is there anyone here from Warren? What's that? Can representatives from Washington come up as well? Washington.
And I am the LSC chairperson of Joseph Warren Elementary School. Since 2005, our scores have went up, so I don't know what statistics they're looking at, but according to our statistics, since Principal Snyder and Vice Principal Turner has come to our school, our science has gone up from 43% to 77%. Our math has gone up from 61% to 77%. And our reading has gone up from 59% to 73%. We are no longer on probation. We are a level 2 elementary school on our way to a level 1 elementary school. They're saying that we're underutilized for our space, but one of the classrooms that they're not approving for our utilization is actually for our parents. It's for enrichment for our parents, where they have a computer, the internet, copiers, so they can find jobs, so they can try to build themselves up to be a good influence for their children. We have before and after school programs for our children, so they don't have to be out on the streets, running the streets all times of night with the gun violence. We want to try to better our students, but we can't do that if our schools are closed. You have to keep our schools open for the safety of our children.
Hi, my name is Mai Hibbler Brown, and I'm a community rep at Joseph Warren. And I have one question. Why doesn't our staff, parents, and community know that it's no longer about the quality of the school, it's about the quantity? When did they slide that under the table?
Okay, Westcott?
Save our school! It's kind of scary up here.
Before you
Don't be shy. Yeah.
Let me call, yeah. If there's anyone here from Washington, please come up now. And Yale would be after that. Yale.
Okay. Hello, my name is Tiffany Watkins. We're from Westcott School. We're located right across the street from Simeon High School, of which we have partnerships with. We have early childhood programs. Some of their students come down and learn how to be teachers. We have partnerships with One Church, One School, who does a lot for our children in terms of helping them with homework and attendance, just little incentives to get them to come more regularly. We are a level 2 school who is no longer on probation as well. We have tons of after-school programs. Community kitchen, which just started a garden program. We also go as far as providing a laundry facility so that students, if they need clean clothing or whatever, things for our parents to come on as well. I'm gonna now just invite one of our community partners to speak.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanisha Jones, and I'm the Director of Education with the Greater Auburn-Gresham Development Corporation. And I am extremely overwhelmed and really humbled by all of the dedication and passion that I've seen all of us display about the well-being of our children. I really hope that everyone took the 2 minutes to really talk about their schools so we could get to the breakout sessions and really get a chance to strategically listen about what our schools are really doing. At Westcott, they have many community partnerships. Westcott is actually a community partner of the Greater Auburn-Gresham Development Corporation, where we are really striving to meet the challenges, really striving to create a local education initiative plan to address the needs of our students in the Auburn-Gresham community. I really hope that you guys take the time to come to the breakout sessions so you can hear more about all the amazing work that's going on at Westcott Elementary and all of the great things that Principal Dockery, Dr. Bibi, and her staff is doing to ensure the success of the students at Westcott Elementary. Thank you so much.
They're right to the door. Do we have any representatives from Yale? Okay. And again, Washington, no one's here from Washington. You want to stay on the
Good evening. Hi, I'm here representing Yale Elementary, and I want to echo the comments of the person before me. I just commend you on being here tonight, on your passion and your commitment to the children. I am a 6th Ward resident that works with Yale Elementary School, very concerned about all the children in our ward. I don't think, after working at Yale, that all the resources that could be applied to help a school have been done so. I don't think those resources have been applied. We recently, I'm Yvette Moyo, and I'm the co-founder of Real Men Cook, the Father's Day celebrations, and thank you, and our nonprofit Real Men Charities works with Yale. And we have Eat to Live Garden and Farm Development next door to Yale and across the street from Yale. We recently asked the CPS to allow us to do a science enrichment program. We applied for it in August, had the classroom, had the program to raise science grades, and all we've gotten is emails to talk about what we can't do and no conversation about what we can do. That is a frustration when the children who worked in the garden are looking forward to change and possibility. So we remain in a very positive place. What is happening at Yale is that a lot of violence, it's at 70th and Princeton, there's been a lot of violence, a tremendous amount. So the children are suffering from tremendous amount of trauma, as are the parents. High unemployment, poverty, gun violence and deaths right around the school. And so we put in place a lot of things that we haven't had a chance to implement. The administration of the school has changed over and over. So there's opposition on every side, but the school is a haven, a safe haven, and where would the students go? To Halsted, which is far away, across 71st Street, and 25% of those students are special needs students. If that school closes, the property rates go down, and the stabilization efforts of RAGE and also the CDC, Inglewood CDC, all those plans to bring property back will go awry, and the community will be further devastated than ever. So I ask you to keep Yale Elementary School open.
Next, I would like to invite to the mic Father Mark, as well as Fedonia Johnson. Fedonia Johnson, if you could come to the front. Father Mark.
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Father Mark Kalema, and I am the pastor here. I used to teach in high schools. My name is Father Mark Kalema, and I am the pastor here, and I originally come from Uganda, which is in East Africa, so that's why I have this American accent. Now, I want to thank the leaders who have gathered all of us here today to have the opportunity to express this most important issue in our lives, the children. I want also to thank the parents, the teachers, and the children who are here, who have come to bring hope to each other, to support one another. Martin Luther King said this, that our lives, they begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Amen? Yes. So we have to speak up. And I heard some people say, oh, the minds are already made up. No, 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 no. Whether they are made up or not, we have to speak on those things that matter. Amen? So we have to keep pushing, and we will continue, and we will succeed, because there is always hope. Thank you so much again for coming. Thank you.
Again, can I please have Fedonia Johnson come up to the mic, as well as Willis Myers. Are you Fedonia? And Mary Edmonds, if you could line up too.
Certainly we should be speaking directly to the officials from the board. I am the director of One Church, One School. Ruggles Elementary School has been in partnership with One Church, One School since 1992. This school is a stable force in our community. To close this school would not only devastate the children, but it would devastate the entire community. Carter Temple CME Church is at 79th and Wabash. That is in partnership with Ruggles School. We have seen the growth and development of Ruggles and what it has meant to our community for these past 20 years. How awful for the Chicago Public Schools not to consider how they would devastate an entire community by closing this historic school. We thank God for the principal, Mrs. Patterson, for those wonderful teachers, and we just pray that this Chicago Public Schools would look deep into its heart and soul and know that a school like Ruggles means so much to this community and to its children. Thank you, and God bless.
My name is Reverend Alan Pace III. I am the pastor, senior pastor of the Carter Temple Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. I stand in support of all of these schools here tonight, but in particular of Ruggles and Westcott. As Dr. Johnson has indicated, our church has been in support of these schools for well over 20 years. We have found them to be anchors within our community. The concern that I have is that we seem to be approaching this process purely on a scientific basis, looking at data. But there are some empirical information and data that speaks to us out of our own experiential condition. These persons have spoken about this here tonight, that there are so many experiences that are going on within these communities. The concern that I have, as Sister Johnson has indicated, is that when you close these schools, you're shutting down a particular anchor force that serves as a foundation to any community. It brings about blight. It brings about depressed nature and status and social culture within the community. And I don't believe that that is what we want. The other thing that many of them have spoken about tonight is that we have a rising gang problem within the Chicago community that brings about increased violence. What are we going to do to mitigate the problem of busing children now across territorial lines that they don't have the power and the force to really try to combat? I really think that we need to look at this in a much deeper way, move away from all of the scientific data that is driving us and driving our processes, and look at what's really going on from a moral standpoint and do what is right for our children and the future of our neighborhoods. I know for a fact if we shut these schools down, we're going to be shutting down our communities, and God have mercy on us for what shall come behind it once it happens. We may live outside of these communities, but it's going to come to your doorstep at some point.
Can I please have Mary Edmonds come up to the mic? Mary Edmonds. Mary Edmonds.
Good evening. My name is Will Myers. I am the Executive Director of the organization Fathers for Change. I'm also a member of the South Shore Community Action Council. I noticed when I read the consortium, the University of Chicago's consortium for school improvement, that none of the issues mentioned school utilization. And so one of the things that's near and dear to me is parent and community engagement, and I am flabbergasted by the fact that I've seen so many parents, community members here tonight. But what I would do is challenge parents, especially fathers, mothers, folks in our community to come together. I've heard it said up here tonight, organizing. The key to this is organizing. CPS has already decided what they're going to do with our schools. The issue is, what are we as adults going to do to make certain that the schools that remain open are schools that provide adequate education for our children? I've heard here tonight the issue or the concern about gangs. And these gangs don't just come from nowhere. They're products of households, of schools, of communities, of churches, and of fathers not being there. So the reason I'm here tonight is to challenge every person in this audience to get involved. Be a part of the solution. Don't come here and scream and holler, don't shut our school down, but have a plan. Have a plan for what we're going to do to improve each and every school. None of our schools should close. Every school should be opened. But each school that's open should be putting out fine products. We shouldn't settle for mediocrity. We've settled for it long enough. And so now the issue is organizing. And the fact of the matter is, as we organize, then people will hear us. Our elected officials who did not show up tonight, our aldermen that didn't come here tonight, when we organize and we have numbers, guess what we can do? Vote them out of office. When Mayor Emanuel doesn't respond to us the way that we want, all we have to do is organize Organize, organize. Get involved.
Hey, Willis. Can I please have Mary Edmonds from CTU? Mary Edmonds from CTU, come to the mic. Can I get Joshua from CTU? Joshua Marbarek from CTU. Can I have Rosita Shatanda come to the mic?
Good evening, community. It is wonderful to see you out. And as Will Meyer said, it's about organizing. What I want to say to you, I've been going to these closings for 10 years. And CPS has closed 100 schools in our community. For 10 years, and people will come here and say, well, what's going on? Where were you 10 years ago when the first school closed? They say never let them take you to the next location. When the first school closed, we shouldn't have allowed it. In 2001 and 2002. Now we're here, 2012, 2013, and the same thing is going on. As Harold Washington would say, it's the same old doo-doo. Now what we've got to do is we've got to begin to organize and say, no, stop coming up here begging. You have the power. Parents, you have the power. Keep your children at home. Do what Dr. King did. Boycott these schools. Do not send your kids into schools where people are not respecting you and your rights to work. CPS has a problem with minority people. They are firing everybody, suspending students, and doing all kinds of things to people in our community. Administrators are not safe. Teachers are not safe. There's no one safe at CPS. Now, enough is enough. Someone said it. We meet every Tuesday at Operation Push. Reverend Jackson just filed an ELC charge of discrimination. CPS is being investigated by the Civil Rights Department of Human Rights. Parents, go online and fill out the form, file a complaint, and file it with the Department of Civil Rights and the Justice Department.
Because of time, we're only going to have time for 2 more speakers. We have Amelia Chico from Reclaiming South Shore for All and Derek Washington, Genesis Institute. So again, we have Amelia Chico and Derek Washington. Okay.
It's after 9, those are the last 2 speakers. So, if not, let me know. All right, 2 minutes, that's it. Just the last speaker announced. All right, announce it.
Matthew Luskin, I'm an organizer with the Chicago Teachers Union. I'm a CPS parent. Listen, I went into one of these breakout sessions where they're trying to split us all up. It was a very manipulative thing. You all were out here, right? What was the sentiment from folks? We were saying no school closings. You go in there and they say, let's have an open discussion. How can we make school closings work for you, right? They want us to pick whether they kill us with a knife or a gun, right? Our choice is we don't want you killing us. So let's talk a few facts about these school closings. We know CPS doesn't save the kind of money they say they save, right? When you close a school, their own numbers say that you only save about $500,000 by closing the school. They say they're in debt $1 billion. If you close 100 schools, and let's be honest, this is 100 schools entirely in African-American neighborhoods, entirely. 100 communities that they want to put through havoc in order to fix 5% of their budget problems. Meanwhile, they won't do the easy things around this. The Chicago public schools are losing $250 million a year to the TIFs, to the tax increment financing. This is money going to billionaires like Penny Pritzker's own Hyatt, Penny Pritzker, who sits on the Board of Education and took $5 million to build a new Hyatt. There's a very real way that they're going to close schools in our neighborhoods in order to pay their own companies to build hotels or hand money to United Airlines. So we can't just stand up here and list the 10 reasons why they shouldn't close our school. We've got to be clear, there's going to be no more school closings, and that's how our communities are going to fight back, right? We're not going to just let them shut us down, give us 2 minutes to speak. We're going to organize. We're going to take a voice here, right? All right.
Okay, this is going to be our final speaker of the night.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Belisha Nocentelli. I am a member of the LSC and the PAC of Christmas Attic School. With about 50% of the Chicago public schools being underutilized, it's time to make a change. Kids deserve a well-rounded, high-quality education. And I understand that all schools will not be saved. However, through my personal experience, I feel schools such as Dr. E.A. Boucher, Edward W. Beasley, and Christmas Addis Academy, these are the schools that my children attend. I feel that these schools make a difference in the kids' life every day. And I can tell by the way they interact and communicate that the staff, you know, they care for the kids. And these schools are not letting the students run the school, but they, at the same time, are practicing problem solving and encourage behavior change. Many of our kids come from single family homes and some not having a home to go to. So schools such as Christmas Addicts Academy, they open their doors to families like this. It's time for us to step up as parents. I feel that kids are not small adults. And if teacher wouldn't have to play the parent, then maybe the test scores would rise and we wouldn't have to worry about the closing of school. I'm a single parent of 5, so I know that it can be done. All my children are honor roll students. I have an 8th grader. He will be the valedictorian of Christmas Addis Academy. I also have a 6th grader and a 2nd grader that attend Boucher, and my son attending Beasley. But, right. Okay, yeah.
Thank you everyone for coming, and get home safe.